Okay, as I try to navigate this like new little thing that I'm doing where I'm like really just talking about the disease that I have in the subscription section just to keep it more private. I'm trying to navigate obviously what I share here publicly and then what I share there. So I've already done a couple videos, and I'm just talking more about what's happened recently in terms of symptoms and stuff. But as I was making one of the videos, I was like, I want to talk about death. I do. And this is not specific to me. So that's why I feel like I can just talk about it, because we're afraid to talk about death. Okay. And I'm kind of sick and tired of it. I think what really bothers me, and I think is a major disservice to everybody, is that we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. It's a yucky feeling. It's a yucky topic. But why is it yucky? Why is it? Why do we celebrate birth and then not celebrate passing? And I don't even like the word passing, because passing is not what's happening. Death is what's happening. Dying is what's happening. And the more we like reframe or like go around the obvious, it's the more we feed into this fear mongering. And my experience working in the hospital, I did so much palliative care. I worked in hospice for a while. Death is actually really beautiful from my perspective, being the caregiver. It was a beautiful experience, and it wasn't scary. It didn't look bad. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously people were suffering. There was some suffering for sure. And that's why they do this MAID thing, right? Because suffering is an option at this point in life, right? But what pisses me off and gets me fucking going is, so I follow a lot of people that have terminal cancer or terminal ALS or whatever that is. And I do that because I'm like, oh, okay, this is something I can relate to, but we're not talking about dying. We're not talking about, how do we talk to your loved ones about dying? How do I talk to my loved ones about it? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it because it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. And then you think about other people's feelings, and it's just, but you know what really bothers me is there's no resources. Like, where are the resources? So you get your diagnosis. And for me, I got my diagnosis, and I've heard this through the Alzheimer's community, especially the young peoples. You get your diagnosis, and then you're thrown out to the world, and that's it. There's no resources after that. That's why I started making the videos, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so alone. And actually I'm not. It's just nobody's talking about it. So I started these videos. Great. And there's a great, huge community. And now a whole bunch of people with young onset Alzheimer's are making videos, and love that, right? We need that. But what I also need now is, let's talk about dying. Okay, so there's no resources after you get your diagnosis. You got to figure it out yourself. Okay, so there's a major gap in the system. Major. Okay, and this is like way beyond just getting medically gaslit. Okay, that in and of itself is a community of issues right there. And you could just stop right there and talk about that for the rest of your life, and that would be totally valid. But what is also super valid is, why the fuck are we not talking about how to deal with dying? Why can you not, why is there not like, okay, so you get a terminal diagnosis, here is grief pamphlets or resources for you and your family to have open dialogue. Here's a counseling service and there probably is, but why do I have to go seek that out? Like, okay, life, let's just be real. If you have a problem, you got to go seek it out yourself. You got to figure it out. And there's what is it? There's value in like when I got sober. If somebody had like gently carried me into rehab, I wouldn't have got sober. I had to like get there myself. I had to be willing enough and in enough pain to get myself there and do the work myself. And so like I see value in me. Okay, but terminal illness is very different than like trying to get sober. You need boundaries, and you know, you got to work for it, and blah, blah, blah. But why do I have to work for it? Like, shouldn't that be something that is like gently delivered to the terminal community? Because let's freaking be honest, we're all going to die. And let's just say the word die. I am going to die. You're going to die. Okay? How you're going to die, I don't know. How I'm going to die, I actually don't know. But we're not talking about it. And that bothers me. And it didn't bother me until I was faced with this thing, because no one's talking about it. So then I'm like, okay, so how do I talk about it? Like, you know how many therapy sessions I've had about how do I talk about it? I shouldn't have to pay somebody to teach me how to talk about it. It's awkward. And I am super comfortable around death because I've cared for so many people. I have done postmortem care on so many people. It's ridiculous. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not at all. But I'm afraid of talking about it. And so when I'm on other people's pages that are terminal, you hear people talking about bucket lists and, you know, the disease progression and stuff, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about death. So I don't know. I know there's death doulas, and I have not accessed that. I know that if I probably reached out to hospice, I did reach out to hospice after my father passed away, and I had a few free counseling sessions. So I know that I could probably go that route, but it's just not an obvious conversation. And that's what I'm feeling really passionate about, because death is not actually a bad thing. It's actually a beautiful part of life. It is life. Life is death. I mean, you birth love with relationships, with family, friends, intimate partners, and there's often a death to that as well, right? So why do we talk about it in other things? And we talk about it as if it's a unreachable thing. It's not. It's happening every single day. Every minute of the day, somebody is dying. And the stigma around it and the fear, and I get it. Of course, it's scary because we don't fucking know what happens, right? Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm not afraid, because I am, but I want to talk about it. That's what I care more about, is why are we not talking about it? And why are there not a whole bunch of resources out there for people that are facing death? Like, so we're just supposed to face it on. I've not faced anything in my life that's hard on my own. Alcoholism, drug addiction, CPTSD. I've put myself in community areas to get myself out of really hard places so that I don't feel alone, which is why I'm on this weird platform talking to you about my weird life. Okay? But there's nothing like that for death. Why do I have to deal with it alone in silence? You know? And I know I can't be the only one, right? Tell me I'm not the only one out there who is like, can we talk about this, please? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody help me, please? And when I say help me, I mean us. Because whatever, I know myself well enough to know that if I just made a few phone calls, I could probably seek out the resources that I need. I know that. I know that about myself. But when I think about, okay, well, I came on this page so I feel less alone, and so other people feel less alone. And now I'm like, oh, but we're not talking about this really big part of life. We have birth celebrations all the time, you know, gender reveals but no, we do not talk about death, which is the second biggest part of life. Birth and death. But we're so afraid to talk about it. And I don't want to be afraid to talk about it, but I am afraid to talk about it, even though I'm not afraid of it. Do you know what I mean? God, my brain won't shut the fuck up.